United Matters viewers, how are you guys? Gravenberch to United off. Remember, we are linked to Gravenberch because he was not having enough playing time, all ample playing time at Bayern Munich. And Erik ten Hag was really trying to reunite with his ex-player at Ajax, whom he groomed from the youth levels of Ajax into the first team of Ajax, and really played very well in that season that really saw him leave Ajax for 25 million euros to a side known as Bayern Munich. Not so. So after that, we are having a talk about Victor Osimhen being told to us by Di Marzio. We are also having a discussion about Anthony Elanga. Ten Hag accepts him to be taken to Borussia Dortmund, and they don't want him to go to Everton. A reason has been given. Lastly, Marcus Rashford being hinted at by the coach of Reading, a team that United is going to be playing tomorrow at Old Trafford. That is, Paul is a former player of Manchester United who really fell out with Sir Alex Ferguson, went ahead and played against Liverpool and played for Liverpool, something that really annoyed United fans all over the world. But he has really gone ahead and really saint or given Marcus Rashford his well-deserved flowers ever since he returned from the World Cup. Welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. And don't forget to do the needful by really following us on this channel and subscribing to this channel, because this is what we are all about. We are Manchester United. We are United Matters channel, and we are the Red Devils fan channel, biggest fan channel in Africa. I've not heard of any big as we are in Africa. So we are the biggest United fan channel in Africa. Not so? I'm not bragging, but these are facts. And we are big because of you guys. That's why I always tell you that continue to subscribe. The more you subscribe, the more we become big and big and big at the African level. And maybe we'll go ahead and penetrate through to the world stage if at all really get in numbers. And I know we're having lots of numbers, lots of people that are really watching this channel in here onto the United Matters channel. That's Sukida's Manchester United news. Now, Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead and really rubbished everything that has been linking Gravenberch to Manchester United. He's telling us that Bayern have no intention to accept any loan proposal for Ryan Gravenberch in January as of now. He's considered an important player for the future. Many clubs asked for a possible loan until June, but no green light so far. And amongst those clubs that really asked for that loan move were Manchester United, because Ten Hag wants a player to play in the attacking forward positions. Well, they say, but I saw him play a lot as a CDM, as a box-to-box midfielder, but Gravenberch can also offer you a lot in the central attack midfield area. He plays very well in every central midfield position. That's why Ten Hag was going in for him. So Gravenberch to Manchester United is not going to happen. Maybe later, because you never know what happens in the 2-3 days of the window, because right now we are left with 27th, 28th, 29th, close to 5 days left. So you never know, a twist might come in through towards the end of the window and we might get him in. But Ten Hag has been denied a chance to reunite with his former player at Ajax, a player that I believe if at all United had gone in for Erik ten Hag early enough, he wouldn't have agreed a deal with Bayern Munich, because the deal of Gravenberch to Bayern Munich was agreed around, was it March? I think around March. And Ten Hag had not yet really gone through to be confirmed as the new United manager. And United had just started to approach and really request for an interview from Erik ten Hag. Darren Fletcher and John Mata flew to Ajax. They interviewed the manager. Then around 13th April, they announced him as the new United manager, who is really going to take over the club from 2020 to summer to 2027 if at all everything goes well, because they gave him a 3-year contract. I think is it 4-year contract with an option of 1 year. That's the contract they gave Erik ten Hag. But Erik ten Hag would love a player, and you know the financial constitutions that are at United that are really not allowing us to go on and really get in players. That's why Ten Hag was opting for Ryan Gravenberch, but it looks like Bayern have no reason to sell the player. And obviously he would be a very good addition in that midfield, because he can play as a CDM. He can get that ball well from the back four and do exactly what Casemiro does. He's tall, he's strong, and a very good technically gifted player. That is Gravenberch for you. Even if Casemiro is away, he can play as a CDM very, very well. He does the blocks. He can really combat the attacks of the enemy and obviously get that ball, win it, and obviously set the ball rolling into good transitions through his line-breaking passes in the pockets of space in the midfield. He's press resistant. Don't talk about him playing in a forest of legs. That is one of the things that he feeds on a daily. That is Ryan Gravenberch. After Ryan Gravenberch, a story coming in from DiMarzio about a player that has been linked to United for a very long time, and that is Victor Osimhen. Now, DiMarzio is one of the football transfer experts, top gurus, and we've been told that United have to pay at least 120 million euros for him. That is Osimhen Victor, but Premier League clubs have the option, so it could well happen. United certainly want to sign him, but there are other clubs who are planning for the same. So that's what he's really telling us about a deal of Victor Osimhen, and he told us that if Napoli win the Serie A this season, my expectation is that they let him go. I wouldn't be surprised if United play for Victor Osimhen in this summer because they wanted to sign him ahead of this season. So United wanted Victor Osimhen in the summer that we recently concluded. We know that very well, but the money was not there, and Napoli played a hard ball to get. They played a hard game to get, but this time round looks like we're in a better position. Last season as we went in for the transfer window, we are not playing the Champions League. You get? However much United is a very good team, but when you are in the Premier League, when you're in the Champions League, that calls for more players to come. It's like an attraction of every player. And if at all we got in Casemiro, Eriksen, Anthony, who else? Malacia and Lisandro Martinez, we're not playing the Champions League. Ask yourself, what is going to happen if at all we are in the Champions League? Have you ever thought of the wavelength of players you're going to bring in at Manchester United? So I believe Victor Osimhen will really rally into that level. But to me, I don't believe in paying 120 million pounds, 120 million euros, because that's like 100 million pounds for Victor Osimhen. Do you know why? I'd rather get close to 60 or 70 million pounds and bring in Benjamin Šeško. You get? You know, one thing I like about Šeško, he has more attributes than Victor Osimhen. That's it. He's good on the ball. He's tall. He does the hold-up play very, very well. And he has a skill set and is technically gifted. I think the only thing that Victor Osimhen has, he's more faster than a Benjamin Šeško, but Benjamin Šeško is a one in process, is a one in the making. And one will ask me that, but he has just signed for RB Leipzig. Trust me, RB Leipzig signed him for, is it 25 million euros? If you go with 70 million euros and put it on the table of RB Leipzig, they get you Benjamin Šeško. That's it. They get you that player. Without doubt, they get you that player in a nick of time. So I don't want to hear anything concerning that United cannot get Benjamin Šeško. We can get him, and I believe he's the most realistic player that Ten Hag would get. Groom him into what you want. That means we'll be having three centre forwards: Martial, Weghorst, and Benjamin Šeško. To me, it's Benjamin Šeško. 120 million euros for Victor Osimhen, 23 years of age. I doubt. When he comes in through and Ten Hag says, I want that player, and they pay that amount of money, they'll get him in. But I doubt whether we'll be able to spend at the wavelength of that magnitude, according to me, because I don't see us spending lots of money. I believe we'll spend like 200 million pounds in the summer, and Ten Hag cannot allow 120 million pounds to go for only one player. Yet he needs a centre forward, he needs a midfielder, he needs a defender, and a right back. 4 players he needs. So he might go for the replica that he really used, or a blueprint that he used to sign his 5 signings this season: Eriksen, Casemiro, Anthony, Lisandro Martinez, and Malacia. All those players too close to 200 million pounds. Now, if he can get in more 5 in the summer at that amount of money, that will be great. That means he needs to get a striker of close to 80 million pounds, another midfield of close to 70 million pounds, that would be 150 million pounds. Then, on a defender, however much he likes Kim, is he Kim Min-jae, he's at 45 million pounds. I think you can get him in. And at around 10-15 from the sales is going to make, he can sign in another right back at the level of Malaysia, because Malaysia is a very good player, but we signed him at 15 million euros. Very, very little money. I think he can scout out someone else to come on and play the right back to support Diego Delo. And maybe even he might think of really staying with Aaron Bissaka, because Bissaka has been really brilliant and he might impress the manager and find himself staying at Manchester United. That's it. Now after that, let's talk about Anthony Elanga, a player that has been on the ladder of Everton and Borussia Dortmund. Stories coming in through at first were indicating that Ten Hag is not willing to sell this player or loan this player, Anthony Elanga, from Manchester United. But as things stand, this is what Mark Odigan from ESPN, senior right at ESPN, has told us that Erik Ten Hag is ready to allow Anthony Elanga to leave on loan this month. Borussia Dortmund is the most likely destination for Elanga. Everton are resigned to missing out on him because of United's reluctancy to expose the 20-year-old forward for the ongoing chaos and uncertainty at Everton, because it was Frank Lampard that wanted Elanga and he got sacked. You get? Now, after him getting sacked, we don't know who is really interested in Anthony Elanga. That's the big thing. That's why you see like the likes of Anthony Gordon or Nana are really trying to push moves out of Everton. Reason being, they don't see themselves as part of this squad of Everton, because the manager they loved has really left. So what does that mean? United doesn't want to send their youngster Anthony Elanga into that chaos. Yet there is another club that is very much well structured that can really put his development to the next level. And Ten Hag, even if Lampard was here, Ten Hag would have chosen Borussia Dortmund over Everton. Do you know why? He has been in the Bundesliga working under Pep Guardiola at Bayern Munich. He knows how technically gifted the managers in the Bundesliga are. If you want Elanga to really progress and really reach his prospect or his ceiling, you need to send him to Borussia Dortmund, because he has tested the physicality of the Premier League. He has shown us that he can thrive in a physicality side, in a Premier League side. You get? Now, you send him to the German Bundesliga, he plays very well, even if he doesn't really meet your expectations, but you can get some good amount of money from Borussia Dortmund, because Borussia Dortmund has gone ahead to buy players like Haaland. Remember, Haaland was coming in from Salzburg. They bought him 18 million pounds. Sancho, it was 17 million pounds. And none of them had really shown potential. I think Haaland had, but he was playing in RB Salzburg. But for Anthony Elanga, coming in from Manchester United, that means United can get close to 30 million pounds from the sale of Anthony Elanga, provided he goes up and really hits the ground running and tears up the Bundesliga. And I'm 100% sure he'll tear it up, because he'll be getting enough playing time, and no player always improves and really hits his high levels if at all he's not played regularly. And that's what Elanga is missing. So Elanga needs to go out on loan, play there, but the return of Jadon Sancho has also contributed to this a lot, because Sancho looks like he's fresh and he might return. He make his United return in the game of Reading, according to what I'm hearing from my sources around Erik Ten Hag, because he has been training well. This has been the second week for the guy to train. Remember, the first week he trained and he was not part of the game of Arsenal. This time round, we expected him to be part of the United squad as we travel to Nottingham. He was not part of it. Now, it's 2 weeks training with the first team. Obviously, the manager has to go ahead and really assess him. If at all he's really great in form, he's really going to find himself into the squad of Manchester United. And he's coming in through, has gone ahead to show to it us that Elanga needs to go, because he has no place to play. That's it. Because even Facundo Pellistri looks like he has come in and overtaken Elanga. Reason being, in the game of Nottingham Forest, Elanga came on 5 minutes to the end of the game, and Pellistri played 20 minutes. You know that very well. And remember, in the game of Charlton, it's Elanga that leads the line and plays close to 85 minutes. And then Facundo Pellistri comes in for Elanga and played 5 minutes. In the 5 minutes he played, he created 2 goals. 2 goals in 5 minutes. So the manager is adamant. Pellistri is going nowhere, but a player called Elanga might be on his way out of Manchester United on loan to Borussia Dortmund. Then Paul Ince Rashford has scored 10 goals in the last 10 games for United. Like any player, it's about confidence. The right manager comes in and finds how to give him confidence. That's a good thing for Manchester United. So that is Paul Ince. Paul Ince is a player who was playing at Manchester United. Why fans of United hate him is because he left United and played for Liverpool. That's it. But he was a very good player, one of the best midfielders I've ever seen in the world of football, especially at Manchester United and in the English national team squad. He was really a very good player. Very good, very good. And I believe he's doing a very tremendous job at Reading, though he's not being consistent a little bit. But him coming at Old Trafford is going to be a very huge game for him. Playing at Old Trafford, good experience for his players. They would have loved this game to be played at their home ground, but I believe it's not going to happen that way. Reason being, the draw really favored United to be playing at Old Trafford. So he's coming in there to play. But he's talking about Marcus Rashford and how he has hit the ground running and scoring 10 goals in his last 10 games, meaning that Rashford is on fire. And I believe Rashford is going to be on target tomorrow also. That's it. He might go on another run of really scoring goals for Manchester United, because after missing out on scoring a goal against Crystal Palace, he really rekindled his scoring run against Arsenal. He scored against Arsenal. He scored against Nottingham. Now, I think he's going to score against Reading. Then after Reading, we are playing Nottingham Forest on Wednesday. I believe he's going to score. Then Crystal Palace is coming. Leeds, Barcelona, Leicester City, Barcelona, Brentford. I think he can really take that stretch again of scoring in every game. Thank you guys for watching in through. Your reactions to Gravenberch to United off are welcome in the comment section below. Then your thoughts on Victor Osimhen. Would you go for Victor Osimhen and pay 120 million euros, or you would go for 70 million euros and really sign Benjamin Sesko? Your thoughts are also welcome to that. Anthony Elanga, would you let him go out on loan? Yes or no? And lastly, Rashford being held by Paul Ince. I sign out for now. See you later. May the Almighty Lord bless you and bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. Good night. It's not good night. Good evening. I'm returning with a press conference reaction of Erik ten Hag as we prepare for side known as Reading tomorrow at Old Trafford. Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.